All right, so we're on to something that I'm very passionate about now, and that's the all-important catering rankings around the test venues in Australia. It's always tough trying to work out what order and who's where. I'm very strong on who's number one. I'll keep you waiting on that one. But at the bottom of the list, and it's tough, but it is a tough industry, and that's going to be the GABBA. It's just something that's felt like it's been a little bit underwhelming throughout my career. I'm not saying it's horrible. It's actually good quality food, but it doesn't bring the juice. And unfortunately, they're going to have to wear that. It's just part and parcel of the industry. It's a tough one. Going to Optus Stadium next. Now, it's a tough one. They haven't had the chance, Optus Stadium, to really win me over. I've only played a handful of T20 games over there in the Big Bash League, but I was a little bit disappointed considering the grandeur of the stadium. Just a great place to play cricket, real buzz around the place, obviously when you play against the Scorchers. The food just left me wanting a little bit, and I was disappointed. The SCG always been very consistent, but just had a couple of rough years there in the middle of my career. Didn't quite nail it. Always the menu looked really appetising. I think maybe it was just the food that was in the fridge, you know, the fruit, the sandwiches, that was just there on a daily basis to nibble on. You know, the mixed nuts, just wasn't quite where I would have liked it throughout the middle years of my career, and they're still fighting their way back because, let's face it, the top two are hard to knock off, and it's hard to knock off the world rankings on test venues, let alone just in Australia. So look, now moving to number two, this is going to be really tough for a lot of Victorian fans to hear, but it's the MCG. The MCG comes in at 2 in a hotly contested race, and look, Jimmy, the chef in at the MCG, does a fantastic job, runs a really tight ship in there. The food is always on point. The fillet, the steaks that come out on around day 2 or 3 for mine, it's just so hard to beat, and it's always been right at the top of the list when it comes to Australian catering at cricket venues, and it just had to be in the top 2. So Jimmy, hats off to you, mate. You run a fantastic shop there, and I'm going to miss it. Hopefully I'm able to come visit at some stage while I'm on the tour with the media stuff going forward, but certainly MCG top notch. And we roll on to number 1. It's the Adelaide Oval. It had to be the Adelaide Oval. Around the country, perhaps even internationally, the plum chicken is just at the top of everyone's list of meals that are dished up on a day of cricket. It's unbeaten around the world. I just can't see anything coming in on top of the plum chicken at Adelaide Oval. But then the array that you get throughout the week, you know, the honey soy stir fry is another one that gets right up to the top of the list for mine. Their fillet steak is right up there, not quite at the level of the MCGs, but certainly right up there. Nevertheless, it is right at the top of the tree. So there you have it, the top 5 for this year's Ashes series. We hope we get to Perth at some stage, but at this stage we've got them nailed in. That's your top 5.